Annie is my life coach, so it's awkward. I've just been doing her laundry for the last 3 weeks. I feel like I'm in a really broken down version of the vagina monologues right now. But no, hey, you know, I was thinking, I really miss when they had those kids in the cave a few weeks ago, because I felt like it brought us all together. Like, the whole world wanted, like, we had world peace, because we all wanted those kids out of a cave. I really miss that. It was like a better time for us all. I don't know. I was thinking, like, if I was in that cave and my mom was outside, there'd be no fucking way I would go out. Like, I'll just take my chances in this cave. Marilyn Kaple would be like, get her out of the cave, safe and alive, because I'm gonna kill her. I'm sorry, but what soccer team goes anywhere without snacks, too? Like, I don't believe those kids had no food. You didn't have any orange slices in there with you? I call BS, all right? That coach is the true hero. I mean, he put up with like a dozen 13-year-olds for 2 weeks and didn't kill one of them. I would not have survived that. I heard he had the kids get rescued in order of obnoxiousness. So if your kid came out first, guess what? But no, I mean, like, that's why kids can't play outside. Kids play outside. We have a 2-week international incident. I've never heard of a kid getting trapped in an iPad before. But I feel like if we want to keep kids safe, we'll let them work in factories again. Builds character. They got tiny hands for the details. Makes sense. But I don't have children. A lot of my friends have kids, and like, they're not like cute little babies anymore. They're like, you know, like 7. One of my friends told me the other day, her daughter is 6, and she's like, just so you know, Jenny knows you have sex. Oh God. And I was like, what? And she said, well, she started asking some questions, and I wanted to tell her the truth, but I didn't want to tell her about myself, so I talked about you. It's like, well, if we're telling the truth, how about we bring up Santa and the Tooth Fairy, huh? What about that? She said, no, that little Jenny was under the impression that every time you had sex, you had a baby. And only mommies and daddies could have sex. And so she thought, again, the truth bomb here, who lies about her age and weight, should say, no, that's not how it is. And she said that, you know, Jenny said, well, does Miss Stephanie have sex? And she said, yes. Jenny then proceeded to yell, how does Miss Stephanie have sex? Which, thank you, Jenny, I'm a solid 7, a 9 if you've had a little to drink, okay, so fuck you. She then wanted to know who I had sex with. I mean, I do pretty well for myself, thank you. Why don't you ask your uncle? Oh, Jenny. Now who's laughing? But now things are like really weird with me and Jenny. She colored me a scarlet S the other day. I asked if that was for Stephanie, and she said, or slut, whatever. I picked her up from school and all the kids were whispering and pointing, so I think she might have told some friends. Just see them like all circled around one area of the playground. She's like, you know, Miss Stephanie who came to my birthday, brought me a Barbie. She's having sex. And no babies. Not with like daddies, but like uncles and friends. So I feel like, you know what? I should be invited to Jenny's class and I will have a sex talk with the whole class. Like, let's just lay it out there for the kids. And I'm gonna tell them the truth. I'd be like, you know what, boys, your job? It's your job to bring the condom. And girls, if he says he doesn't have a condom, you just put your shirt back on. I'm gonna guarantee you a condom suddenly appears. Every single fucking time. But girls, you need to take care of yourself too. You need to take birth control. You need to be responsible. And then after sex, get up, go out to the kitchen, turn on the microwave for 2 minutes, rub a magnet on your stomach and jump up and down. I don't know if it works, but I don't have any babies, do I? I was traveling last week. Anyone who's ever said it's the journey, not the destination, has never had a layover in the Atlanta airport. That is just a little slice of America there for us, huh? There's a P.F. Chang, a Chick-fil-A, a Coach outlet. It's like a strip mall with planes. It's great. I'm telling you right now, if they add a Target and an Olive Garden, I don't have to visit my family in Ohio anymore. It could be the 51st state, just like go with me here. They have great public transportation. They have a waste management system. Terminal F, the international terminal, that obviously would be the capital, because it's the nicest. Terminal A, that would be the county with the meth problem. They don't even have a ceiling in there anymore. I'm not sure if you've been recently. There's one weird thing about the Atlanta airport. They have a sign, a billboard in there, and it says, if you were born between the years 1945 and 1965, you are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. What were you baby boomers doing? I want answers, all right? I had to have the most awkward phone call with my parents. I'm like, Dad, Mom, you don't have to give me details, but have you been tested for hepatitis C? Apparently you may have it, be careful. But no, I have a little bit of anxiety about flying, not from the actual flight, but from the people that are around me. They're weird. I get nervous. Like, as soon as I go to security, I know what's gonna happen. There's always that person who's trying to carry on 3 gallons of shampoo. It's like, you're taking a 3-day trip. How much shampoo do you need? And if you don't know the rule about 3 ounces by now, you shouldn't be in an airport. Actually, you shouldn't be out of your house because you can't handle the world, all right? It's dangerous out here. And there's always that guy with change in his pocket. Why do you need change at the airport? What at the airport costs less than $1? Nothing costs less than $5 at the airport, okay? I'm telling you, I don't know if this guy thinks we're gonna be on the plane and the pilot's gonna come on and be like, well, this is embarrassing. We forgot about the toll over Delaware. Does anyone have $3.50 in quarters? Awkward. Man, and the boarding the plane. Everyone's so excited to get on the plane. They are the same people that want to get off it as soon as it lands. I don't understand this. I'll be zone 1 and 12 groups were bored before me. They don't even make sense. They'll be like, hey, if you think the moon landing was fake, get on the plane now. Come on, everybody. And why are we putting babies on the plane first? Babies hate planes, all right? They cry the entire time they're on there. They should be the last ones on. We should be shutting the door as we put them in, okay? We also always have Carry-On Kenny, who's trying to bring 5 bags on the plane. 2, Kenny. 2's all you're allowed to bring. No, you cannot bring your canoe paddle on the plane. I am sorry. I mean, have you ever gotten on a flight and they're like, hey, we have tons of overhead space today. We unchecked all of your luggage for you to all carry it on. It's gonna be great up here. We definitely should start serving meals again on planes because people bringing their own food is a horrible idea. I'm sorry, like, I was sitting in the middle seat on a recent flight and the girl next to me on the right pulls out a container of sauerkraut. Not a Reuben, no pork chopping site, just a straight bowl of sauerkraut she starts eating. Do you know what sauerkraut smells like on a plane? The girl on the left, she reaches in and pulls out a wrap. She takes off the wrap portion and just takes the meat and cheese, dunks it into ranch dressing, and eats it with her bare hands. So I'm stuck between sauerkraut Sally and meat hands, praying I don't have to touch either of them. I'm going to tell you, if the air oxygen mask dropped down, I was going to knock them both off their faces and do us a favor. I'm going to let those 2 go. Now, I traveled up to DC. I love Washington, DC. It's one of my favorite cities. I do have one of my most embarrassing adult stories from DC. I tend to have a little bit of a sensitive stomach, and so I have to be cautious sometimes. And I got up one morning in DC, went and had breakfast, 2 cups of coffee. Hindsight, the 2nd cup, not a great choice. But I decided I'd walk out to the Jefferson Memorial, which, just so you know, it's 2 2 miles away from the Lincoln Memorial. I don't know what or who Jefferson did to fuck things up, but they really put him like far out there. They don't really want him around. So I start walking out there, and I'm about halfway out, and I feel something in my stomach, and I realize we're gonna have a situation. And now I'm too far to turn back to Lincoln, but I'm also really far from Jefferson, and in my head I think I have 2 choices. I can dig a hole and try to discreetly poop in it, or I can walk through the streets of Washington, D.C. and pretend I haven't pooped myself. But I was just trying to like soldier on, and they kept like have these little signs that say like, you know, Jefferson Memorial, and I have a picture of the memorial, like a park ranger stand and a restroom sign, and my brain would see that, and it would like loosen up. I would be like, no, it's like we're not there yet. And I kept going, and I started to get the shit sweats, you know? It starts on your forehead, and moves down your neck, and into your back. You know, I was like getting all panicked. Finally, I see the Jefferson Memorial, and all I can think is, do I take like long strides, get there faster, and risk something coming out? I do like a slow shuffle, and risk like missing it by 2 feet. So finally I get in there and I go like straight, I'm just beeline into the bathroom, and on the walls inside they have all these Thomas Jefferson quotes, and I'm like, don't read. And I get into the ladies' room, and there's this sweet little girl washing her hands, and I felt so bad because I just immediately like pulled off my shorts and ran into a stall, and my eyes saw that toilet, and my mind just was like automatic like muscle relaxation. I lost total control. And there was this sonic boom that came out of my body, and I think it was kind of loud because they raised the terrorist threat level to red in DC, and all of the birds flew away. And like finally when it was over, you know, I washed my face and like collected myself, and I was like, I'm going up. I didn't survive this not to see Thomas Jefferson, so I go up there, and Thomas Jefferson, if you've never been, it's just like this big podium with him in the middle, and he's 19 feet tall, and his eyes just look at you wherever you are, and he's just looking at me like, I know what you did. And I was trying to be all cool about it. I was like, you know, you stay the night at a guy's house, and you have the beer shits in the morning, you're like, boy, your roommate tore up your bathroom. But like everyone knows it was you. Like it was just me and Thomas Jefferson like looking at each other like, And I just said, you know what, Thomas Jefferson? You might be this nation's 3rd president, but I will always be the girl who took a massive number 2 in your bathroom. So there you go. Thank you all for coming out tonight.